Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone around the world. I'm Paul Sisler, and this is In the Moment. Today, on Tuesday Takes, Luke will not be here. We have a conflict in scheduling today. So it's going to be just me and Daegal. For those that are on Twitter, I am bringing it up, and I'll be able, if you have questions, you can also ask on Twitter. And then I'm letting everybody know that after this week of shows that I do, I'm going to be taking about a 2, maybe a 3 week hiatus, finishing up on my book. So once I get that done and sent off to the publisher, I will be starting back up either the last week of May or the first week of June. So just letting you know that I'll have about 2 weeks where I won't have any shows, maybe 3, depends upon how fast I can write. Anyways, our special guest today on Tuesday Takes is the one, the only Daegal. Hello, Daegal.
How's it going, man?
It is going awesome. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, dude. I'm doing as good as I need to be.
All right. So tell us about that wonderful book that's over my shoulder here, Bingo. It's out there. You can now get it on Amazon. Where else can you get it?
Attic Anthenaeum. You can get it at in about a month from now, not even a month. You can get it at Brookshire Books, which is all through Vermont and upstate New York. And it's in Ingram's catalog now too. And I'm working at get it. I'm working right now at trying to get it in Garner's. We'll see. That's over in the UK. But my books are over in the UK right now too, though. I have a friend that came over and visited for a while. He took a bunch of my books back, and he's getting them placed in places. So they're selling over there right now pretty well.
Nice. Now, is Luke's Book Nook going to have copies of it?
Yeah. If Luke wants me to send copies, I'll send copies to Luke. I haven't heard that yet, but I'm assuming if that's the case, heck yeah.
All right.
I'm down.
Excellent. So, would you like to tell us a little bit about Bingo? Kind of get those taste buds going for this wonderful, excellently executed book.
It's really what it comes down to is it's a tale of neglect. From a bunch of different sources, right? You have Bingo, the main character, who was neglected as a child, extremely neglected by his parents as a child. His parents were neglected as well, as you can tell by their behavior. And then the sheriff in the town is also neglected, and comes from trying to take care of other people that have been also put in that position. And so for when you get these things collide, right, with the murder of a child, everything goes crazy. Yeah. And that's really what Bingo's about. It's really a tale of neglect and its consequences. That's what it's more of a thriller than horror, but I write horror, but it's more of a thriller.
Okay. Psychological, very psychological.
Yeah.
Yes. For those that haven't got it, you need to get it. I am telling you, it is a fantastic read. I haven't gotten all the way through it, but I tell you, man, my brain is exploding. Oh my goodness. You are one hell of a writer, Daegal. So tell us about these new books. What was the name of it? What is it? Pigheads?
Yeah, we got Pigheads coming out in the middle of June. That is a okay. So the thing is this. So what had happened was I had gotten my account frozen on Twitter for a bit for the cover when I put the cover out the first time, and the cover, I guess, was too extreme for some people, so it got me in trouble. And then a thought occurred to me, so I called my publisher and I said, "Hey, look, if this is the case, why don't we make a PC cover and put that back out there, and we'll release a version of Pigheads that's PC, so it'll have the story." And it'll have 5 photos. And then I said, then we will then send out another book with the original cover the same time, it's called extra cuts. That'll come with 12 photos and a whole nother chapter that is not in the book at all, that you won't get with the PC version.
Nice.
And so, like another, so that's what we're doing, releasing it like that, releasing them together. But there's a PC version and the extra cut version with the original cover. And this one, when you pre-order it, either one you order, you get 2 stickers, 2 really cool stickers. One sticker is the actual original cover that you can keep. It's a 4-inch by 4-inch, 4-inch by 6-inch sticker. And the other one is a special piece of art that you won't see in the book. And they're both colored stickers.
Nice. I like that. Almost like, well, here is the editor's cut and here is the writer's cut. Nice. I love that. I love that. Nice. Oh my goodness. So can you tell us a little bit about what Pigheads is about?
Yeah. So there's this town in NorCal, which you'll figure this all out. You'll learn about this. Where this farmer, he lives in a town that's full of secrets, like a lot of secrets. And his name is Jimmy Pratt. And there's a guy named Ken who is like one of the main sheriffs in this town with his deputy, and they could run this town. And it occurs to Jimmy, after he finds something in one of the pig pens of the pig farm he owns, that there's someone breaking into his pig farm at night. And you quickly learn that it is someone that is getting rid of body parts in the pig, amongst the pigs. The town does know about it, and it all comes to a head with this guy, Peter Krimpf, who is the serial killer type, who is feeding the pigs. And it's the story of how Peter gets caught feeding these body parts to pigs. And there's a big twist in it, man. It's a really crazy twist of what's going on in the story and why Peter's doing it and how Jimmy Pratt and Ken and the whole town knows and why they know. And yeah, it's crazy. It's a really fun ride, man. It's a super fun story.
All right.
Hey,
I am looking so forward to it and all that. I can't wait. I can't wait. Now, this is different than the baby one, right?
Yeah, Baby Rattler's on hold right now because I'm reworking it. I'm taking it all apart, reworking the language in it. I want to do a different character arc with one of the characters that's really important, so I just put it on hold. But while it was on hold and I was working on it, this Pigheads idea came to light, and I just took off with it, man. And next thing you know, it's written. It went through 3 edits so far. It's off for its 4th edit right now. I'll get it back. I'll run through it again, and if everything's clean, it'll go out. But it won't be out to the middle of June. We're holding it to the middle of June.
Nice. Now, I got a question for you because, man, you write something and you write it rapidly. I can't believe how quick you can put work out. About how many words a day do you put out? Because I am working really hard and I am probably putting out anywhere from 1,500 to 4,000 words a day. How many words a day do you put out?
I mean, honestly, here, I don't even do that. I write when I feel like it. So usually if I'm in the mood now and I'm in, because I own a bookstore, right?
Right.
So I go to the bookstore and I'm sitting there and I have 8 hours to sit there and write. Usually about 2 of that hours I'll write. And I'll get about 4,000 words out of that.
Wow.
So I'll sit, and then what I usually do is I won't edit anything until I write the whole story. And then, so I don't write every day. I don't write every day, and I don't edit every day either. I believe for me, what works is I write when I'm feeling it. If I don't feel it, not a big deal. I'll go read a book. I'll go for a walk. I'll do whatever. There's no rush. I don't have any time constraints with the publisher of when I need things out. Very, very relaxed situation.
Okay. I don't feel so bad now because I edit as I go and I reread and I edit and I reread and I edit until it sounds right before I can move on.
Yeah.
So, okay. I don't feel so bad now. I'm doing pretty good then because I'm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, and today I've already put out 1,500 words. And after this show, I'll probably put out another 1,000 to 1,500. And like I said, I have to edit as I go along, but I am in such a groove with this right now that I'm feeling so good about it. Oh my God. And
Nice.
I've been reading Diana and Shadow Fox as I've been going along, and they're loving it. And that also helps because now I get to read it out loud, and I catch a lot of the things that I miss. So I kind of edit as I also read. So that's helping a lot too. But oh my God, I can't believe how fast you can put these works out. I congratulate you, man. Like I said, you're a fabulous writer. We got
Thanks,
some
man.
new faces here and all that. Hello to David. Hello, David. Says hello, fam. Hey, Paul. Hey, Daegal. And
Hey,
then
Daegal, what's going on, man? Hey, what's going on there, David? What's up?
we have the artist of interest. Hello. Well, thank you. Thank you for joining us today. And of course, we have Dana. Hello, Dana.
Hey, Dana, what's going on, man?
And we already got I already put Ari up there. So yeah, it's good turnout today. I'm liking this.
Nice.
All right. So do you have any other inspirations going on besides these that we've been talking about? Okay,
You know, man,
Thumper.
let me tell you what I've been doing, dude. What I've been doing. Here's something I've been doing. So, as you see, the people that come in the room, like Dana just put a new poetry book out. I've been reading that, and that's sweet, man. Ari got a new poetry book out. She's on the same publisher as I'm on. I got, I got her book. I'm reading that, going through that. What I'm doing right now, man, is I'm writing Pigheads. I'm editing. I got another story in the bucket called Gora we can talk about, but I'm also reading all these people's work. Paul, one of our buddies, Paul on here has a book out called Here. I've been checking that out, some poetry work. So a lot of people on our Twitter spaces, man, are putting really excellent work out and really cool stuff. So I want to give them props because
Yes.
it's good stuff, dude. And I'm getting a lot of it held in the store, and I'm super happy, man. It's really good. So I'm getting some inspiration from that. Like I'm reading wherever you're doing. Doodle Slice put out a new book of poems that you can color. So my daughter's been coloring that and like reading the poems and stuff. So, dude, it's cool, man. I've been getting inspiration from my friends on Twitter, man. It's been really cool.
Yes, yes. Doodle, I tell you, man, I love Doodle. You know how I do some tribute poetry. I had one in my entourage here on Pages. I was going through. I was in Dana or Aria's room the other day, and I'm going through my stuff, trying to organize it a little bit as somebody was reading. It was Aria. Aria was reading, and I come across this. If you don't title it, it says blank. Okay, so
Right.
I click on this blank, and it's like, oh my God, my ode to Doodle. So I read my ode to Doodle, and
Nice.
yes, and sent it to him. He loved it. But yeah, I love the poetry that we get. And you're right, we do have a lot of fabulous writers in our community. Dana.
Dude, one of the people, I don't even know if you got to know her, but Lux is one of the people in our group too. She put a new book out called Hit that she has on it's on Kindle right now, and she's working on something new to actually get her first book out, like a pressed printed book. So, dude, there's a lot of people in our group, man. They're just putting stuff out like crazy, man.
I am so far behind though. I have your book. I got Jay's Secrets and Songbirds.
Yep.
I have the Diana's book. I can't think of this. The Gospel of a Witch. I have Lucid. I've started all of them here and there. I'll get to where I'm writing, and then it's just like, okay, I need a break. So I'll just go and I'll just grab one and I'll just start reading,
Yeah.
And I'll do like maybe either a few paragraphs, or I will maybe get a half of a chapter in, and then it's like, oh wow. And then my mind just starts running again. It's like I got to get back to writing. So, yes, very inspiring people that we are connected to.
I agree.
Yes. Yeah, just man, the minds, Maruk, she's got a book of poetry out now too.
Who's that?
Maruk?
Oh, yes. What am I saying? I totally forgot about Maruk. I'm silly. So I got Maruk's book too over here. I got that first that came out a while back. I got her book here. We're trying to get some in the store. You know,
Nice.
Attic Athenaeum, trying to get that in. Maruk's book is really sweet, man. She posts a lot on TikTok and does a lot of promotion, man. It's going really well for her, man. I haven't talked to Maruk in a bit. I haven't seen her in like about a couple days, give or take. But dude, I'll tell you, man, like that's the inspiration right there. Like you go on these spaces, you talk to all these writers, and
Yes.
you get to listen to their poetry and their works. The one thing I've been doing, man, is I've been trying to push envelopes and see how far I can take something before it gets, like I'm reaching a line, right?
Yes. Yes.
But I've also been working on my writing in general, like really paying attention to how, my edits and how I'm wording things and how I'm like just growing as a writer, just like constantly growing as a writer, like really being self-reflective when I get stuff back from readers, from beta readers, and are saying things. I don't just blow it out my mind. I look back and go, okay, wait a minute. So when you read Bingo, there's a lot of things I would have changed in it for sure, being my first book, right?
Right.
But Pigheads, I'm way more. I'm proud of Bingo, but I'm really proud of where Pigheads is going. You see a big difference, and a lot of my beta readers are like, yeah, there's a huge difference between the two. I'm like, yeah, I really cut my teeth with Bingo. It's cool, man.
Nice. I'm I'm pushing that line a little bit. I'm going right up to that edge. Now, granted, I've heard you read some stuff, and you go right up to that edge. You go right to it, and
Yeah.
I don't go there as often as what you do, but I do reach that. And your writing is inspiration for that. So if you are a writer and you want to know how to push the limits, I highly recommend reading Daegal's work, because Daegal will teach you how to bring it right there.
Yeah, it's just all about like I want to be tasteful about it, but I really enjoy really looking into the darks. Like life isn't Disney, man,
Right.
And I'll give you an example. So I'm doing physical therapy right now, right? And because I hurt my arm really bad, so I'm doing physical therapy for my shoulder. I tore my rotor cuff in this arm, and I'm going there, and then you're trying to stop surgery, so I'm going through the physical therapy.
Right.
And while I was there, I'm doing these armband bends, right? And I'm looking at this thing on the wall, and it was an inspirational things that happened last year, right? In there was a saying, a Japanese saying for this thing, right? And I'm reading it, and I go, oh. And what it was it was a Japanese word for when you eat because you're bored. And so I formulated in my mind as I'm doing this weights, I'm like, what if I wrote this story? And I went off in my head. That's all penned down now. So I'm going to start working on that short story. If you go to the writer Daegal.com, a little thing will flash down. It'll say the Dark Things newsletter. If you join that newsletter, I'm going to be putting short stories that I don't publish on there just for people who are on the newsletter to read. And that short story is going to be in there. That's going to be my first newsletter I put out in the middle of this month. We'll have that short story that I read on that wall, that meaning, and then my short story for it.
All right. And what is the name of that website again?
The writer Daegal.com.
The writer Daegal.
Yep. And you can go on there, and if you give it a couple seconds, the thing will pop up and ask you to join the newsletter. You join the newsletter. Every month, I'm going to put out stuff that I'm doing, book signings I have coming up, and a short story. And I'm going to put it out once a month. And so the first short story is going to be what I wrote, about this little saying I read. I don't want to give it away what the story's about, but you go, what? And there'll be polished pieces, nothing that's not polished. It'll be done, edited, polished, 3,000-4,000 word little short, flash fictions,
Nice, nice. I like that. I like that. Did I get the spelling right? The writer Daegal.com?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Daegal.
All right.
Daegal, Daegal, whatever, man. It's all the same, dude.
What's that?
I said Daegal, Daegal. It's all the same. I don't. It's a name. I'm not picky.
Yes. Can you tell everybody about that word Daegal and what it means?
Yeah. So I was just trying to find a cool name for a pen name, and it's an old Anglo-Saxon name, and it means a hollow one that lives down by the river. So I was like, that's perfect, man. Like you couldn't get any better than that for a horror name, right? So I just adopted that name and said that's what we're doing because I didn't want to use my performance name because I just thought that was kind of, like I want my writing to stand on its own. I don't want anybody to listen to my music and then go, "Oh yeah, I follow him musically and I was there when he was on Sony and all this stuff." So I'm going to buy his books. Cool that you do that, but I want people to not even know that and then get my book anyway and like my writing, only to find out later this is what I did for a job before I was a writer. You know what I mean?
Right. See,
Yeah.
I have started writing a book titled The Daegal.
Nice.
And it's because you, in taking that name when you first said what it meant, and I looked it up, and it's just like, ooh, there are some stories, which inspired me to write that poem, Ode to Daegal, you know?
Hey, yeah, nice.
And you're like, but how do I inspire being a serial killer?
It's not hard.
It's not so much that as what the word means, the hollowness, and
Right.
like, ooh, so just you taking that name has inspired another book that I plan on putting out in the future about a serial killer.
Right.
So, and it's not that I think you're a serial killer, Daigle. Okay, it's just that you write just the detail just still blows my mind. I mean, I have learned so much from you, as I have many of the other writers that we communicate with, but I have learned so much from you. Oh my God. And, and I just want to put this out there for everybody that will watch this or is watching this. I came into the writer's circle, the writing community, when, oh, he is a serial killer, Paul.
Who's that? Who's that? Who said that?
Ari.
Ari, I am not a serial killer, man. Maybe.
I came into the writing community in a very dark point in my life, and all of you guys gave me inspiration, in so many different ways, because I was before meeting you guys, I wrote a nonfiction book, and when I listened, one of the first people I heard read was Jay, and
Yeah.
and it was just like, oh my God, my God. And then in hearing all these other writers and everything reading their works, it was just like, maybe I can do this. So I gave it a go, and all of you encouraged me so much, and you were honest in your critiques, and I really appreciate that. And this book that I am going to put out, that I'm finishing up, I mean, it's going to be dedicated to a number of you for your inspiration, because without that group, this group of unique individuals that all have just great talent, I would never would have wrote anything like this. I never thought I could be a fiction writer, and here I am getting ready to publish my first piece of fiction, and I am excited.
Yeah, man. That's good, dude. That's good. And I feel the same way, man. There's a lot of people that I got influence from. And when I started joining the writers group, man, I wasn't even thinking about even putting anything out. Bingo was just something to do in the space because we're all writing. So I said, well, let me just write a story. So I just came up with bingo and just did it. And I was like, there's that, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, I'm like, because I always wrote as a hobby. I never did it as something serious. And then it was all COVID. And I was like, let's just flip jobs. Let's just stop touring and playing music and let's just be a writer. So I did. And there you go. And I just, I took my bookstore more serious and did more with it. And now I don't, I barely play shows. I do more writing than anything. And yeah, man, I got some cool stuff lined up for the summer for book signings and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yes.
man. Just doing this other career, just getting on it. Just getting on it.
No, the writing community, and for those that aren't in the writing community, but you love to read, um, I encourage you to come into our spaces when we're on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
And if you don't think you can write, think again. I tell you, there's a lot of people that I've come across that they come into the writing spaces and they're there because they like to listen. And now there's people that are writing their own stuff, writing their own poetry, sharing it. And, you know, there's so much talent out there that, I mean, it blows me away that people with such great imaginations, great dedication to detail and feelings and emotions and all of these things. It's inspirational more than anything. And even if you're not someone that is going to pick up the pen and paper and give it a go, the thing that you're going to feel when you come into a lot of these spaces is going to be something that you can take with you in your everyday life because there's just so much inspiration. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say about this fabulous group of people. And half of them are right here in this show right now with us, you know, Aria and David and Dana and, you know, Thumper. I mean, just, you know, the group of you, you're just awesome people. And thank you.
Sorry about that. My daughter was yelling. I had to mute the mic for a second. She's up there. Yeah, dude. No, I feel the same way, man. There's a lot of people I look up to in these spaces, you know, and also, man, you know, something that I've learned over time too that is, you know, with the writing community, you know, there's certain people that you know, they'll give you critiques and you need to listen to them because they're really, you know, they're actually really there to look out for you and go, hey, here's how I'm hearing this, you know, and maybe you can take what they're saying and self-reflect on your writing and go, yeah, maybe I do need to look at that character arcing or flow or the way I read it or, you know, word choices and sentence structure. Like there's a lot of, what I want to say, there's a lot of free help, right?
Yes.
Like you usually pay an editor for that, a lot of money, but there's a lot of free help that some of these people on Twitter give you. That so by the time you get to the editor, a lot of things have been polished by the time you get to that editor, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great, dude. I love it, man. There's nothing, you know, because you know who to take for a grain of salt, you know.
Right.
And then the ones that you know are serious, man, you listen, just listen, because you'd be amazed what you can get out of it. I've gotten a lot of stuff out of it.
Definitely. And, you know, and some of those that aren't here right now, like Luke, who had a schedule conflict, we have the Tuesday takes. We talk about different things. We have T-Paul on Fridays, where we talk about different things with writing. And when we do these writing shows, again, it's none of us are experts. Okay. There's no such thing as an expert writer. Okay. Every writer is learning as they go. They're learning more and more and more, and their writing gets better and better and better. You know, even greats like, you know, Stephen King, you know, I tell you, you go back to some of the things that he's written and you look at some of the things that he has written of late, and you can see a difference in his writings. Some of them better, some of them not. But all of us can learn something from each other. And I think that is huge because, yes, I have received a lot of critiques in my writing. And all it's done is helped improve me, you know?
Absolutely.
Yes. So, yeah, a great community. Cornelia, Diana.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I
Diana.
just hung out with Cornelia, man. Cornelia came towards, she came here to see Luke, and then me and my wife went out to a winery and hung out with Cornelia for a couple hours and had some food and chilled and had a great time, man. It was super fun, dude.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that day where I can meet all of you. Oh my goodness.
Dude. Yeah, I'm down, man. I'm about to go up and see. Do you remember Sean? Do you remember Sean Stevens, poet Sean Stevens?
Yeah.
He's coming here May 13th to hang out with me for a couple days. He's going to go into the studio and read his poetry and cut that into an audiobook. And then I leave after that, shortly after that, and I go see Spicy Steve and MT, and I go hang out with them, you know, down on Long Island. And then, I got to skip over and see Ari and, Lux is there up there in South Carolina. I'm meeting a whole bunch of people, man. And of course, Vanilla Steve just came from the UK, hung out with me for 2 weeks. It was a good time, man. I've been meeting all kinds of people. I'm supposed to be meeting Gora at some point here. If she ends up going to Chicago, I'm supposed to meet up with Gora too, which will be awesome. It's going to be a blast, man.
Excellent. Oh my goodness. Oh
Yeah,
my.
it's meeting everybody, dude.
Nice. Well, if you ever come out here to California, let me know.
I'll find a way.
All right. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
to
man.
it. Yeah, I wish I could travel like that. I can't do it anymore. But one of these days when I get rich and wealthy, I'm just going to set up camp out here and have everybody come out at the same time. There we go.
Yeah, that's what you do.
All right. So when you create a villain, what are some of the things that you look at when you decide to create that villain? What's kind of like your routine for creating the villain?
I got one routine, man. And this is going to sound negative. It's going to sound however you want to take it. But I look at human beings. That's it. Dude. I look at human beings and I watch how they act towards each other. And I say, you know what? There's your villain right there. I don't need to do nothing else. Even if my villain is supernatural, the only supernatural thing about him is he might be able to fly or something. I don't know if I get into that kind of thing. But outside of that, all of his actions are human-based actions. I'm not trying to be that negative dude, but if you look around the world, it ain't hard to find villains. It takes 5 seconds.
Right.
They're sitting in your own backyard hanging out, man.
Yes. No, absolutely.
And that's the scariest villain. You know why? Because people can relate to that and they have to self-reflect and they might see that villain in themselves and they go, oh, man. And that's scarier than anything you could possibly make up.
Yes. I find it kind of funny that you say that because that's what I was going to say. Because it's like what I'm writing right now, I am just taking the basic things that we see in this everyday world. And I am applying those personalities to my characters.
100%.
And it's just like when people read it, it's just like, oh, wow, man, these vampires are evil. And when if they really take the time to look into the aspects of their character, and it's just like, oh, my God, this guy sounds like this figure. And oh, my God, this guy sounds like this person I just saw on MSNBC. Oh, my God, this sounds like this former president. Oh, my God, this sounds like, and they're going to be like, wow, the reflection, just like you said, the reflection. Yes.
Yeah, man. That's all you have to do. You don't have to go far. If you look at someone like Cormac McCarthy, right? Amazing writer. If you're not familiar with Cormac McCarthy's work, we're looking at No Country for Old Men,
Yes.
Right. He just put out 2 new books a little while ago. All of his villains are just people, man. They're just dudes like every day. Like if you read Bingo, these are normal people. Bingo is a normal guy. He might be a little behind the 8 ball with some things, but he's a normal dude. His dad and mom, normal people. The Sheriff Bennings in it, Brian Bennings, normal cop, normal guy.
Right.
It's like, but when you start digging in the past and digging into these sour little nuggets of rot certain people have, and then you expose those things, dude, that's scarier than anything you could possibly come up with, man. You know what I mean? It's like, don't get me wrong. I love all the supernatural stuff too. Like, I just went and saw Evil Dead Rise. I loved it, man. Right. Cause it's so like, it's just all gory and crazy. I'm all about that. But when I'm writing stuff and I'm writing villains, I'm like, nah, man, there's nothing scarier than the guy next door, than a dude you meet at the grocery market every day. You see him every day. And there ain't nothing scarier than that guy because you know what that guy does or that girl does, or that person does, even that kid may do. Like, yeah, that's the thing. And humans I love them to death, man, but let's face reality, right? There's a lot of bad ones out there.
Yes.
Yep.
That's where my development comes in. I just start looking at people that I don't like for whatever reason. I don't like.
My list is large, bro.
Same here. Same here. Remember, I was a bounty hunter. I have over 20 years in the casino industry. I have a lot of reference information.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I gotta. I tell people when people get mad at me, right? For whatever reason, I always tell them they're like, "Oh, you're." I'm like, listen. There's a long line out that door of people who don't like me. The only thing I'm going to say to you is it's going to suck for you because you're way in the back of the line, not going to be able to see any of the show. So get in the back of the line and wait like everybody else does to say whatever you want to say. Because there's always going to be people who don't like you. There's always going to be, and my list is long of people I don't like. But you know what? That's what life's about. And I think that if you look in your own backyard and you look around you, you can find enough villains all day. You don't have to make up anything. You don't have to invent anything new, man. All you got to do is look at that and go, you want something scary? Check this out. Like, that's it, man. And that people connect to that. They connect with that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
That's why the ID channel is so popular, bro.
Yes.
You don't see no vampires and demons on the ID channel. It's all people that live right in your town. It's the Jeffrey Dahmers, all those people.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And then when you mix that with something supernatural, like a vampire werewolf, it's even crazier, right? Or like some kind of demon or something, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I know. My favorite thing, and I know this is probably going to piss some people off, but my favorite thing is I take people that just fling that evangelical crap at people and use that and how they weaponize it. And I just make them the bad guys in my book.
I can understand that. It's not for everybody. I can understand that entirely.
Their hatred, their anger, their, you're gonna go to hell if you don't believe in my God.
I just tell them I have timeshares.
What's that?
They just go, are you serious? But that's the thing, man. But that's right. But isn't that in itself like, look at how, like I said, look at how people act and look how people are, man. And that's enough fodder for any story you need, man.
Yes.
Like, you mix that again with the supernatural stuff, or even like the even the kind of surreal. I mean, even look at something like Batman, dude. Like, Batman's not even a horror story, but you connect with Batman. Why? Because everybody knows people like Bruce Wayne. You don't have to be rich, but everybody knows people like that. Yep. You know what I mean? So when you make him a vigilante dude, next thing you know, like the old Dark Knight comics that were really like adult and gritty, like you look at those and you go, dude, those are horrific, but it was about a person, an everyday dude. He wears a belt and stuff. He's not Superman. He doesn't have a magical powers. He's just a dude. Yeah, and that's right. And that's why it connects, man. So I look at my villains and I go, all right, how can I humanize these villains? Right down the speech so they can connect with anybody. And then after that, I'll add a little twist to them. Maybe they'll be whatever, you know what I mean? And that's how I do it. That's how I do my villains. And it seems to always fly well.
Yes, yes. Dana says people are insane. Absolutely.
Dana, you are 1,000% correct. Yeah, some people. And you know what though? Here's the thing. And I'm not talking about people that have a difference of opinion. That's not insanity. No.
Right.
Because that's okay to do. What's insane to me is when my villains put themselves in a position where they're otherworldly to you. So to them, they get a like I call it a Dahmer complex, right? They're like, what? Like, so I kill a few people and eat them, whatever, right? And you go, what do you mean, whatever, right? It's like I look like that, so that's my villains. I always try to make my villains act like what they are doing is totally simply normal. And what is your problem for not understanding that?
Right.
So as a reader, you're like, what are you, nuts, dude? And that's the whole deal.
Right.
That's how I do it.
Right. See, you're going to love my character Jameson in this Rainbow Prophecy, because Jameson is all of that. It's like when he brings out, his flamboyancy and his Like, this is just the way it is. Why can't you see that this is the way it is? I am the sovereign and I am the God, and you're going to do what I say. And that's just the way it is. What's so hard for you to understand about this? And when you bring that normalcy to an insane person, yeah, it is scary. Now, how much of you goes in these characters?
Dude, honestly, how much of me go in a character? Like, really none. Like, really none. Because I'll tell you what, man. Here's something that I'll tell you right now. Beknownst to most people, I may have radical opinions. I may be a real asshole with my opinions. Excuse me for swearing on your show.
Oh, that's okay.
I may have these different thoughts than people have, and they may be wrong sometimes too, right? I'm willing to grow. But here's the thing, man. I love my kids. I love my wife. I love my family. I love what I do. The horror stuff that I write is simply for the mere fact that I love the dark side of stuff. I like to explore it. And that's as far as it goes. I don't have bodies in my house. I don't have thoughts of killing people and all this, whatever. Nah. I actually pretty much would give someone the shirt off my back if they weren't being an asshole. Right? If they were a good person and they stayed a good person, I'm good. Once you cross a line, I'm done though. So it's like, and that's the thing with me, man. Like, I don't put a lot on my characters. What I like to do is, what I do though, in my characters is they always relate to people I know. For sure. I know a Bingo. I do. I know a Peter Crimpth, person feeding pigs, body parts of pigs. Yeah. I know someone that would do that. I know people I write about. And I do that because that's familiarity and I can write it well. I can pass it along. Right. I will tell you a weak spot I have is inventing a character out of the blue that I don't know at all and just make it up. I got to have some kind of connection to the character that I know them somehow. There's someone that I know. I might fabricate some stuff about them and exaggerate some stuff, but the meat and potatoes of that character is someone that I knew, whether I was a kid or now I know them or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to ask you something a little personal. You can, shy away from it if you like. It's up to you.
You know me.
When you were a child, were you bullied in school?
Oh God, dude, all day long, bro. All right, okay, so I was a little kid. Hear me out now. All you parents out there know what 4T pants are. 4 toddler pants. I wore those suckers in kindergarten. So that group picture went like, look at all these kids. Me. Look at all those tall kids. I was this little kid, so I got picked on and beat up. And then when I moved overseas, I was American. I was in a foreign country. They didn't like me. It was a communist country. I got spit on a lot, called a douche, all kinds of stuff. American scumbag, all kinds of things, dude. So I had to fight my way to be cool there. So yeah, man, I came from a very highly abusive family. Both my parents alcoholics, drug problems. Yeah, man, I came from kind of garbage, I guess, But that's the thing, though, man. I think that's what shaped me into doing what I do, right? I don't think I would even like horror. Maybe, I don't know. But I think a lot of that shaped me exploring these dark things because I lived a lot of them,
Yes. And that's why I went there, because I was bullied. And every one of my bullies is a character. Everyone that bullied me, and you bullies know who you are. So just know you are in my book. I don't mention you by name, but you are there and you will know who you are. So
yeah, I don't ever really mention my bullies in books, but I will tell you, and I don't even really use any of the characters that were bullies, but what I do though is I use those like in Bingo, it's a tale of neglect and consequences, right?
Yes.
There's one scene in Bingo that is very reminiscent of my childhood. And so I put it in there. And a few people know what scene that is. And Ari goes, you don't need to call me out, Paul. Ari. So So, I put that in there because it's a personal thing, and I related with it, and I wanted Bennings to go through that, and and I know people can connect with that have gone through childhood trauma or whatever. So, I do that. I will put little things in there. I don't call it my bullies because I think I'd get carried away with the murder scenes. So I don't do that. But I'll tell you, my favorite thing to do, man, I'm going to be honest with you. My favorite thing of all time to do is to write a murder scene or a killing scene and then sit with it for a couple days and then read back over it and go, wait a minute, these details aren't juicy enough. So how do I get to that line without someone going, what is wrong with you, man? But someone going, what is wrong with you, man? Right? So it doesn't get banned. And I do that. That's like the funnest thing, dude. I have 2 scenes of dismemberment in Pigheads that are gruesome, dude. That my publisher's reading right now and going, what? They're so great. They're so perfect. Just gruesome, dude.
Yes. I have some gruesome scenes also, and I actually had to tone mine down a little bit, but that's okay.
My wife said that my dismemberment scenes weren't that bad, so I went back through and I juiced them up more. but she's used to me, so she hears this stuff and goes, "That ain't scary, dude." And someone else reads it and goes, "What are you on, man?" And I'm like, "My wife's used to me, dude. That ain't scary to her. She hears this crap every day."
Yes. No, I had to tone mine down a little bit because the way it was explained to me, I kind of understood, because sometimes we have perceptions of things in a way that some other people may not perceive things.
Right.
So I had to go back and do a little changing, but I still keep the gruesomeness that's in there. And when people are going to get to that part, they're going to be just like, oh, no. And they'll get enough to be like, oh my God, so, yeah. But yeah, I even have I guess we're just going to have to wait until it comes out, but
yeah, no, dude. Yeah, don't ever give anything away, man. Like I like the furthest I'll tell people is there's a couple scenes in Pigheads that are pretty wild, but I don't tell them what it is. But people have heard me read parts of it in spaces, and I don't read those parts. I've been kind of easy not to read those parts. But yeah, they're really fun, man. I've had a lot of fun writing Pigheads, and I got a new book called Gora coming out. That's not coming out. It's being written now. I'm starting to get the notes down and get it right, and that story's nuts, dude. That story touches on some really dark paths of people that people go through. It's about twin sisters, man, and it just goes dark.
Now,
dark.
I noticed the title is Gora. Does that have anything to do with our friend Gora?
Well, okay, it did it first because I liked her name, and I said Gora, and I said, what if I had a story about 2 twin sisters named Gora and Phoebe? So together, the name spells Goraphobia. Right? And then I played on those words and played with it. And that's so yeah. At first I said, Gora, I like your name. I'm gonna steal that first story. She didn't think I was gonna do it, and lo and behold, here it is. And I showed her the cover actually of the book, and she's like, what? That's crazy. So yeah, I'm starting those notes right now, and so yeah, I'm gonna make sure I put her in the forward,
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I do that when I eventually get into Daegal. And when I get that first chapter done, you'll be the first one I call to read it to, just so
I'm down, man. I'm down, I'm down for that.
Yes. All righty. I tell you, I'm so happy to have this community and all that. And for all of those that are watching this or that watch it later, just remember, you can always reach out to myself. You can reach out to Luke to come on the shows. You can reach out to T-Pod to come on the shows. I would love to have you guys come on, be a guest, talk about your works, anything that you have published, whether it's self-published or traditionally published, doesn't matter. anything that you have that, if you're on Kindle Vella and you have work on there, come on, talk about it, and again, remember, I am taking a hiatus this week. I'm going to finish out. I have Diana Bishop on my show tomorrow, The Flow with Shadow Fox, and then T-Paw on Friday, Jeremy on Comedy and Controversy on Saturday, and then I am going to be done for about 2 weeks and maybe 3 because I have to finish my book up. And once I get that done and submitted, I will start my shows back up and we will be going strong. So, yes, I am excited, Daegal. I can't wait until your next book comes out. What do you have a release date for Pigheads?
We're looking at the middle of June. The middle of June. I'm going to pick a date here after she gets through her edits, and then I do the last edits, or maybe the second to last. Or I think I might go through 2 more edits, maybe tops, and then it'll be ready to go. So I'm looking at the middle of June, with not a date set, but it'll be the middle of June. So, but I post all over my social media, and also make sure you guys visit atticanthonyam.com, my bookstore. It's like a Barnes & Noble, man. I sell everything. And some of our friends on here in the store, their books are in my store. So you can buy a lot of their stuff in my store. And I don't take a commission when I sell my friends' works. I don't take any money from that. They get the full money back. The only thing I take out of it is applicable taxes that I need to pay. And so you're supporting artists 100%. Attic Anthony takes no cut from indie authors at all. So, yeah, man, just make sure. Paul, your book's in my store, dude.
Yes.
Yeah, the Red Herring Effect's in there.
You sold one,
didn't you?
You sold one, didn't you?
I sold 2.
2? Oh,
yes, sir.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So make sure if you guys are interested in getting your book in, get a hold of me because I'm a bookstore, man. I'm an LLC bookstore. It's going great, man. Doing a lot of stuff, selling a lot of books. Yeah, man. So definitely, and make sure you join the newsletter off the writerdaegal.com. And I put out a newsletter. I'm putting one out in the middle of this month. My first one. It's going to have a short story that I'm working on right now. So, and every month I'll put one out with a short story, a finished piece that you can read with news about signings and whatever else I'm up to. So join the Dark Things newsletter.
Yes. Aren't you going to be doing a live book reading at the Book Nook with Luke?
Yeah, once we get that all set, we're waiting for a date because my dates are conflicting with Luke's. But once it gets set, I'm going to go down and do it. We were going to do it on April 1st, but things came up. Luke had to do some renovating and stuff. And so we pushed it. But now we got to wait when our things line up again because I think it's like August. I have it set. It's in a book. I just got to look at my book. It's somewhere around here, but I know it's August.
Okay. I think
so it's on there. Luke will know.
Right. I think on the 6th.
Something like that. Yeah. It's like right at the beginning of August, somewhere in there.
Right. Well, I think this month on the 6th that I'll have to confirm it with her. I don't know for sure, but maybe on the 6th, I think she's going to have something. And the thing of it is when she does it, we're going to do it on my channel also. I'm going to do it live. So when you're there and you're doing that reading, however long it is, 15 minutes, a half an hour or whatever, we're going to do what's called Saturday Spotlight from the Book Nook. And so it's going to be on here live. So we're also going to do that. So when you read in August, whatever date that is, you're also going to be on here for that reading. So, which will give me 6 shows for a week. I'm telling you.
That's cool, man. I'm down.
Yes. But I think she has one on the 6th. I got to confirm with her. I don't think it's set in stone yet. But if it is this Saturday, then we will do that show because she's going to be doing that once a month, I think it is. But Saturday Spotlights, it's going to be nice. Yes. All right. I had asked you a little while ago, probably a week ago and all that. One of the things that I'm doing in the book that I'm writing is at certain points, my characters are either reading a book or they're coming across a book in a library or something like that. And I mention your books. I have Diana's book in it. I have Luke's book, Lucid, in it. And I have Jay's book, Secrets of the Songbirds, in it. I was going to put Bingo in there, but I'm thinking maybe I had to put Pigheads in there.
Go for it.
You okay with that?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, go for it, man.
Okay. All right. Because I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, I will do that. It's going to be further in, probably around chapter 10 or 11. So definitely. And then for this first book, that's the only 4 books I'm going to put in there. And then when I do book 2, I'm going to have 4 more authors with 4 more titles mentioned in the book. So it's kind of a little hidden promo that I'm doing for you authors, awesome, putting you in my books, man. So
I think that, dude.
Yeah, I'm excited. I hope that the publishing house that hopefully will take me will allow this. So as long as they allow it, it will be in my books.
That's awesome, man.
All right. Thank you again for coming on, Daegal. I appreciate it. We got to get you on here more often. Yes, bingo, right there.
Get yourself some bingo.
Yes, BINGO.
Yeah, and you can get that on atticanthonam.com. You can get it on Amazon too, but don't get it on Amazon, man. Just go to atticanthonam.com. If you go to the writer Daegal.com, you can get it off there. You can see the link goes right to it, to my Attic Anthonam book, and my store. Yeah, and check out Bingo. Tell me what you think. And Pigheads will be out in the middle of June. And buy everybody else's books there too, man. I got everybody's books that if you're on Twitter with us, if you're not on Twitter with us, where you at? Get on Twitter with us. And check out all the great writers we have in there. So many good writers in our circle, man.
Yes. All right. Thank you again, Daegal. And catch us tomorrow. Diana Bishop will be on the flow. 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern on the flow. Thank you again. Remember, everybody, be kind, be happy, and may good things come your way. Thank you.